Things to do like that. Hello,
Perfect.
everyone. It's Samantha Jane Love here with the lovely, lovely Judy Reed, and we are coming on for our very first episode of Garden of All. Oh my goodness, we are so super excited about this. It is something that has literally just fallen together. So for you
Or
out there,
grown from the soil.
grown from the, yeah, fallen together, grown from the soil. So we're going to start off by introducing ourselves to you because some of you might know us, some of you might not. So I will start. So I am Samantha Jane Love, and I am a love evolutionist, and I'm a femme embodiment practitioner. I'm a self empowerment coach for women who really want to dig deeper and live more of what life has to offer for them and really live a life full of pleasure. Now, pleasure doesn't have to be sexual. It could just be delicious, decadent food, whatever that looks like. We don't need everyone going, that's not decadent or whatever. It's just about living everything to bring in the highest form of excitement and joy and love into your life. I have been working through spiritual things for over 25 years. I'm finishing off my counseling degree to give me a little bit of credibility. Not that I need it because I have got a toolbox which is full of stuff. Just like me when I'm talking. So that is okay. We are here to share with you from our life experiences, and we're here. It's a learning as well. So I'm going to hand you over to Judy, and she's going to introduce herself.
All right. Well, I am Judy Reed, and a few of you, if you know me, have probably read some of my writing over the years. I've done a lot of freelance writing about sexuality from a feminist perspective and women empowerment over their bodies, over their choices, creating freedom, space, respect, those sorts of things, all extremely important to me and I think to everyone. So I try and share as much as possible. So my background's in psychology. Quite a few years ago, I did my psych degree and I've worked in domestic violence over in London. I was a domestic violence support worker, which probably fed into my interest in empowering women and helping women to realize their potential. And currently, I run an e-commerce store just with crystals and gemstones and things like that because I'm very interested in working with energy too. So, yeah, and I'm just excited to be in this space with all of you.
Woo! So, how this all unfolded, there was a little email that I got from the lovely Judy, and I was like, oh my goodness, that works. Because I'm not that tech savvy, by the way. I sort of know enough to get myself through. And I had this email, and it came through, and we had a quick chat. Quick chat was it about an hour and a half?
I was going to say, I think that quick chat turned into, yeah, quite a long chat.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it was just something that started to click. And from that chat, we then caught up for a cuppa, and it was
A quick
like,
cuppa, which turned into what, another
three or
couple of
four
hours?
hours. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know whether anybody else out there knows or feels into past lives. It's definitely like we have done a journey of this before because the ease and grace that flows from us getting together and it literally is like this. First of all, it was for me to do a bit of writing on Judy's blog, and I was like excited about that. And when we got together for our, quick cover, it literally, the amount of energy and content and things that we, because we've studied and have the opportunity to either experience or to be able to help others through, or there's so many different avenues of things that women don't know because you only know what you know. And
Mm.
sometimes I take it for granted about all of the myriad of things. So it could even just be as simple as doing some protection on your front doorstep. So we will talk about spirituality, witching stuff, that word, and how that word can really have an impact on someone's nervous system, because it may not be this life, it could have been a different life where they might have been hung or drowned or burnt or all of the things at the same time, because they were a powerful woman who knew how to heal people with either medicines, tonics, energy. So the Garden of All literally is about the soul, the earth, the water, the seedlings that we grow right up to the willow or the oak trees, the flowers, the bees, the animals that have shelter. There is going to be no stone unturned with any of the topics that we talk about. Yes, we both have an interest in sexual health, let's just say. And that looks different for absolutely everybody. And there is no right, there is no wrong. It's just about what feels good for you.
That's the key. If it feels good for you and it's not doing any damage to anyone or anything, then you're on the right track, really. And believing in that and allowing yourself to explore those things too. I think it's really important.
Yeah. And like I have two young girls. Judy's girl is a little bit older than mine. And because we're
Yes,
mums
yes.
of girls, um, we're both really passionate about, the one thing that they should be teaching kids at school is the power of consent and the power of what no actually looks like.
Hmm.
Um, and it's an interesting thing because for me, my 6-year-old loves the word no when it suits her.
Yes. And when she feels comfortable, which she probably does with you, because she knows she's in a safe space with you. And it's a lot easier, I think, to assert yourself when you feel that way.
Yeah, definitely. And if we can feel safe within our own skin, our own body, one of the words that I use is when we come home. And these are just words that we're going to start using, and we will probably eventually end up with some sort of glossary of terms of all the things that we say, because there's a lot of stuff that comes out of our mouths that we go, oh, people actually don't actually know what that means. And because
Mhm.
we've been walking along the whether it's the psychosocial, spiritual, or sexual path, these are all things that we just think are common terms that most people don't actually have any idea about what we're talking about. So we want this to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
We will laugh at ourselves a lot.
I'm very good at that one. Yeah.
Yeah, because, we've both been in relationships, we've both had good ones and bad ones. We are, as Judy said, she's a feminist, but we're not here to bag on our men. We love our men. We just don't want to
Oh,
baby.
and to me, that's not what feminist
Yeah, yeah. So
feminism
we will
is.
talk
Yeah.
into that because I think that even a lot of the things that we're going to re-educate people are about are what things mean and what they mean to us, and open up a question. We eventually will have people on with us to talk about so many different things, a variety of things. And any of you out there that know me, I love a good crystal, as you can see behind me. Love a good crystal. So there will be talk about crystals. There will be talk about the divas in a crystal. Some people think that crystals are just a pretty rock. Happy days. Some people like
Mhm.
them for the geological version of it, and some people use them for the healing qualities and powers. Um, okay. If I stop like that, I'm getting I'm getting downloads from
You're getting
the
a
bigger me.
download.
So
Yep. Yep.
if you not everyone's into this, but when I'm talking, sometimes the big me, so the higher self of me, the one that knows more stuff than what I do, I know stuff. It all can't fit in this glorious body of mine. Um, and it's information that is getting channeled through. So some people talk in that it's their guides, their guardians, their higher self, source. Some people talk to God, whatever. We're not here to say if something is wrong or right. We are just talking in what works for us. If it sparks a curiosity in you, we can either help you or guide you in the right way to find out more about that. And and that brings me to the point that I was about to say is it is not for us or any of us to bag on somebody else's belief. What we're here to do is with a kind, compassionate guidance, just bring awareness to different things. And it could be even things that we don't agree with.
hmm
So
But
that's,
that's okay.
yeah, and that's okay. So so in our short chats that we've had, we do go into a lot of realms of things that are out on the market, and everyone has their own belief. Or if you go into neurological NLP, they talk about the bits of information that a human brain can do. If you go into neuroscience, it's very similar to that, and it's about the belief. And um, whatever you believe will eventually come true. So we want this place the Garden of All, to be a magical place where you can start believing that your life can be better, that you can make changes to relationships that are currently there. You can start relationships. We just want it to be like the magic garden.
Of beauty around us and beauty within us.
Yeah. So we are really, really excited. I'm going to stop talking for a second and hand it over to Judi.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just reiterate, obviously, everything you were saying there. And I think it's important that we also want to create an environment where everyone feels respected and safe and held. So we're not scary in any way. We're not going to get upset or anything like that if people disagree with us or anything. We want to have an open forum, an open discussion, and we're both lifelong learners as well. Like I'm at uni at the moment, doing my master's, and I just love to learn. So new perspectives, new ideas, or anything that is of interest to you, that gives us something to find out more about. So that is always welcome. So do let us know because we want that feedback and we want your input too.
Yeah, if you want to troll us, knock yourself out, because it's just like water off this beautiful swan's
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Um, but we invite kindness. There's a thing that might be a bit harsh, but generally, when you're throwing something evil out, there's something within you that needs to be looked at as well. We all have different backgrounds and can all be hurt by certain things. Um, and it's just about literally being kind to other people. And how do you want to show up in the world? So when you're out there and you're commenting, we don't expect things to all be in agreement, but you can be in disagreement without being cruel as well. So
Yeah,
just
that's where the
put
respect
that
is
out. Yeah.
comes in. You can be respectful in what you say and what you think, and we'll respect you in the same way. We just ask for the same in return, so
Yeah.
everyone can feel heard.
Yeah. Totally. So we are both busy women as well, so we will try and get back to comments as quickly as possible. But as you heard, I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old and a cat who thinks he's human. If you've seen Judy's fluffy tail, that is not hers, by the way.
No, it's
This
not.
is
I might have one out the back somewhere, but that's not mine.
back in the boxes. That's a dress-up
Mm,
day. That might happen. Who knows?
it could happen,
Um,
yeah.
But we have our thoughts and feelings about which way that we want this to roll. If there are things that you guys are curious about, so um, there is nothing that we wouldn't look at. So whether it's a way of being, a way of a philosophy of being, a way of help me out. My words have lost me. So, whether it's in regards to how to have a better, we will go into how to have a more exciting love life if that's what you want to do. We are both in the arena of you need to practice on yourself first. And unfortunately, probably a large chunk, and we'll probably get the statistics of that, of how many people have a shame, a fear, a guilt when they self pleasure, or if we want to use the word masturbate. I'm talking about the female of the persons or the persons with a vulva. Let's be inclusive here. And we will also talk about porn, the good, the bad, and the ugly with that.
Mm.
That has a long line and a long history of information with it. We will go back to, the first little stuff, what they used to call snuff films or back in the day, weren't they called?
Did
Um,
you say snuff?
I think so. It was like the different
Yeah,
sort.
that's a pretty extreme.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it. But there are a lot of people that think that that could be a norm. Um,
Mm.
there's a lot of um, unconsensual, not beneficiating the woman porn out there. We've just gone right in, haven't we?
We have.
We
I'm just
have.
thinking this is an entire episode, possibly a
But
series.
these are some things that we will actually talk about. There will be what do we do if we can't get pregnant? What do we do if we've had a baby or there's been a miscarriage? How do we have pelvic health care for ourselves? And even to the point of, that's a very physiological thing. We will look at some of the spiritual things that you can do in regards to that, and the types of counseling and um, you know uh, assistance that you can get if these things have happened to you, because the statistics of how many people have actually had a miscarriage are far greater than what you would actually think,
Mm,
because we can fall pregnant and be pregnant in week one, and our body goes, oh, we're pregnant. And then for whatever reason, your body goes, no, you're not. But
mm.
the hormones that are released within your body are the same at week one as they are at week 42 or 40. So it's just that you know that you've got a baby within you there. So, yeah.
Yeah, we can do a lot around motherhood too, I think, and from maybe a more honest perspective than a lot of the books and things out there. We kind of know what it's really like in down in the trenches there, and we're not embarrassed to talk about that. So,
Yeah. And there's mothering in there's a coupleship, there's a co-parenting, and then there's solo parenting as well, for whatever the reason is for being in those particular reasons. We might even, look at the old addictions. Well, nothing is going to be something that we won't talk about. We're both about to start dating again, so I'm sure that there'll be some juicy, hilarious gossip that we can share in regards to that. Um, yeah, nothing is off the table. So, any prospective suitors out there, just a heads up.
watch out, we're coming your way.
Yeah. Um, But most of all, we are doing this one for our own. When you start to teach something or you talk about it, you really get to know more about it. And it's not just ones and zeros and little things in your head. When you can articulate what is going on for you, it's actually a thing that you can then start to teach. And it's not a learning platform whatsoever. It is just two lovely ladies out here having a bit of a good time, sharing some anecdotal stories. There will be some things of what you can do out there. We are not saying that we're the medical model that you should go by. So just disclaimer for everybody. These are just things that could help or couldn't help, and they may not help at all. So there's
Everyone's
not.
different, and it's the kind of situation where if something resonates with you, that's great. And if it doesn't, that's fine. Just move on to the next thing. So, yeah, we're not being prescriptive at all in anything we discuss, and it's just talking about what might have worked for us or what might have worked for other people we know, or, like if you guys choose to share information with us, that kind of thing. So it's just a sharing of information, but definitely no kind of, to be a good evolved person, you must do this or that or the other, that nothing like that.
Yeah, I suppose that brings us to the next point, of the these. Anytime you say the in front of
The
something, the ego has just come in. And we will talk further about the ego and what that actually looks like. We can talk about it from a psychological point of view, through to the spiritual point of view. But we need a healthy amount of ego. But if we are saying the thing that we do is the one and truly only way that you can heal yourself or be more evolved or whatever, taking a bit of the piss, actually. You're just a little bit full of. So,
Mhm.
those that are not Australian, when you are full of, it means that you have a very healthy sense of self, overinflated sense of self. And look, we have obviously a bit of a overinflated sense of self to be here talking about things as well. There's a there's a line of the healthy, but we talk about a. This is a way. This is a practice. This is a way of, even, like, you don't have to follow all of the Kama Sutra positions to have a good sex life, because there's a lot of positions in there.
You could do
Some of
yourself
them
some
you have,
damage doing that.
okay? Yeah, like there is a lot of positions. You have to be very flexible to get through the
Mm.
whole book. Um, that may be another episode that we have, masters of the Kama Sutra. Um, there is not one parenting style that works. There is not one way of teaching that works. There are different ways, and each child is different. We have different learning styles. Like, so we have we have kinesthetic, audio, and visual. I was thinking, say I'm very kinesthetic, and I had to go somewhere and find it in my brain. Um, So sometimes you want to see the beauty or read it. There's a lot of people that love the reading and they want the touching and they need to see the book and they want to see the pages flipping. And other people just want to hear the information. They are very auditory, and other people want to experience that, to really have that embodied into their brain, and they don't actually learn how to do a thing until they've done a thing. So, but we're all not one thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Exactly.
so as much as I'm kinesthetic, sometimes I need to read the instructions very quickly, and go, that's a keyword, that's a keyword, that's a keyword. Okay. And sometimes I want to hear, because
Mm.
bring in love languages, hear that I'm a beautiful, smart, well-adjusted woman,
Which you are, yes, indeed.
and not just
I'll
myself
affirm
telling
that for
me.
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because we all work on different ways. So we just wanted to come on here, and just be like, "Hi, how you doing?" So we
Right.
can get through. Um, I will go into song every so often. I love my 90s jams, and we will just endeavor to explore what it is to start, continue to re-sow. I'm trying to get all the gardening analogies out that I
You're
can
doing well.
possibly. We're talking about pruning things back. Why do we prune? Why should we not prune too much?
Hmm.
The technical reasons for all of these things. Um, and yeah, so, and to have a bit of fun, to bring in a bit of joy, that we're going to turn up, and whatever version of us that you get is the version of us. So if something sad has happened in that day, we're not going to, if it's a real, depending on what the life event is, we will show up and show that it's okay to be vulnerable. My grandma is about to be 96, and we never know when that phone call is going to come through. So, that could be one of my moments as well. Stuff happens. And that's what, the Garden of All is about, the circle of life. Shall I be that cheesy? There is a
You
lot of
can, of
cheese
course you
around here.
can.
Yeah, so essentially it is about the circle of life. Um, you know, if we don't have bees, we all know that bees make everything happen. So we want to make sure that all of the things in life are bringing forth. And yeah, so we will just continue to have a good time and laugh and bring some information to you. If you want to know more about something, you want us to delve deeper because we've touched on a subject, please reach out to us. All of these things will be, it's just going to make a more full show. If you think of somebody who would be a great guest for us, please reach out. We'd love to, get a guest portfolio of people as well. Yeah, so this is Samantha Jane Love. This is
Judy Reed.
And we are the Garden of All. Thank you for watching our very first episode, and we will get back to you really, really soon. Bye, y'all.
Bye.